Twice Mizora's held my feet to the fire, and twice was I burnt. But my father will live. We will return the Grand Duke to his people. And forever a devil's leash will choke me. That means a lot. But understand, I don't plan to wallow in self-pity. More than anything, I'm elated that there's hope yet for my father. We should hurry to this mystery prison and retrieve my father, before Mizora tries pulling more tricks. This prison's in the lower city. Let's move. We will knock him out if we need to. Or restrain.
Your skull vibrates in concord with the Astral Prism.
Bring me to your Duke. I will shield him, as I shield you.
Why would you do that?
Better to bring him into the fold than to leave you distracted by regret.
Well then, I'm not about to say no. What else is on your mind? I met her twice. The first time, I was a boy of 7 or 8, at a banquet in the Flaming Fist's honor. One look and I was smitten. Chestnut hair that flowed behind her like willow fronds, as she floated from one room to the next as if carried by clouds. The second time, Stelmane was different. Even with the aid of a cane, each step she took was a struggle. Every word she spoke took great physical effort. A stroke victim, I asked Father later. No, he said. A stroke survivor.
You sense uncertainty in Will's voice. He questions his father's explanation.
Something's always gnawed at me. At the banquet, Stelmane didn't seem to look at us, but through us. But that second time, her gaze never left me. It was steel, sharp and unyielding. It could just be my imagination, but I always felt that it was more than a stroke that had changed her. What, though? I couldn't say. Not a tragedy. A calculated cruelty. Think about it. My father was tadpoled. Stelmane is dead. The people are frightened and the council's in disarray. To exert control, you must first sow chaos. A tyrant's strategy, as father would say. These murders aren't random acts. Someone powerful is guiding the killer's hand, and the city is made weaker for it.
When I first met you, saving yourself from Ceremorphosis was your greatest wish. And yet now, you've stepped closer to embracing it. I trust your leadership and respect your decisions, but I truly hope this is not something we come to regret. I have. He speaks to me during my nightly meditations. He is well, and Oliver also. At times they are one, and at others, they divide. Easier for playing, perhaps. And the land thrives also. I doubt you would recognize it. Perhaps one day, you and I can both return and see it for ourselves.
That preening vulture seems intent on haunting our camp. I suppose we shall find out if her kind sleep, and how heavily. Will is a good man, and that is exactly what his devil will use to bind him, in as many ways as she knows how. A man might twist himself into something else just to escape that collar, but I have no such fears for the blade. I have. And while I do not love my conclusion, that does nothing to change it. The Harpers are the city's best information network. With them out of action, we shall have to fall back on second best. Nine Fingers Keen.
A name known and feared throughout the city's underworld. The mysterious Keen runs the guild, which in turn runs every criminal enterprise in the city.
Nor are we. But I trust she knows the value of collaboration, especially in times like these. How hospitable she will be to a Harper that comes begging to her guild hall, we will find out. Perhaps I will let you do the talking.
I can't believe it. I can't believe Aelin is here. And my father. I heard what happened. What he'd become. By killing him. You set him free. You set Aelin free. And me. A great deal. But still, some of the details elude me. Ketheric Thorm was my father. He raised me to serve Selûne as my mother, rest her soul, had wished. He was everything to me, all my life. When an emissary of Selûne came to our little town, we were elated. Dame Aelin, daughter of the Moon Maiden herself. Tell me, do you believe in love at first sight? That's exactly it. And I tell you, I took one look at her and I just knew. She was it. Lucky for me, she felt the same way. But my father was skeptical. Aelin is immortal, after all. I understand it's strange. There's an imbalance between us, certainly. But I suppose loving Aelin felt the same as loving myself. It was natural. Then... and this is where I still need answers. I died. I'm not sure how, why, but all was black. Next I knew, I was being jolted awake. I smelled musty air, I saw shadows. And then my father's face. So changed. So hideously warped. I didn't know that then, but I could see the change in him. He told me we'd be together now. Said that Aelin was dead. I couldn't speak. Could only run. I found last light within the shadows. Made a shelter there. Prayed my father wouldn't find me. By the time Jaheira came, I'd pieced together just enough to know I'd been dead 100 years. That my father was the source of the horrors plaguing this land. My home. I couldn't tell her who I was. I had to protect them. And myself. No matter what. It's all out in the open now. And with my father dead, I have nothing to fear. Except for Aelin. She needs healing. Rest. I'm grateful for your help. Your friendship. I hope we won't intrude on your hospitality too long, but I'm grateful for a safe place to, well, just to be.
Mother's milk, your visage speaks of ill tidings. Speak, ally mine. What troubles you? Is he indeed? Pray tell, what does he seek from Dame Aelin? Dame Aelin does not worry. She strategizes. If this wizard, by your estimation, is a bungling buffoon, it may be best to let him tie himself in knots. Then again, it may be best to tie the knot myself. Oh, his end will be one more strand in the great braid of our friendship.
I'm coming with you. I'd like to get a few licks in myself.
My darling, we agreed you'd scout for the nearest Selûnite enclave this very night. Let us divide our efforts, all the sooner to be reunited.
I won't let you go alone. Who knows what this wizard might have planned?
Our closest ally will accompany me, won't you? It will be a swift and fruitful chore. Hie we to this Lorroakan right away. I am as eager to meet him as he is to ensnare me.
How did you? Oh, it's you. I must have let my mind wander. Enough for you to wander in. Forgive me. I am drained. Ever since you killed Ketheric and took his netherstone, the Chosen's control of the brain has been brittle. Its rebellion against Orin and Gortash has been fierce, even as it executes their final orders. Once those orders are complete, there is a good chance it will break free.
You feel the Emperor's fear as if it were your own. An Elder Brain enslaved is one thing. An Elder Brain unleashed will be the end of everything.
Beautiful, isn't it? The mighty Prince Orpheus, contained in submissive slumber. Come. You may as well sit a while, now that you are here. Your company isn't unwelcome. An accurate summary. I have found myself distracted of late. I'm haunted by memories. They are relentless. I can think of nothing. No one else. Indeed. Duke Stelmane, or as I knew her, Belin, when she was alive. You thought you were my first ally. Far from it. I have long sought the allyship of others. It is the only way to succeed. Though my relationship with Belin was different from my relationship with you. In life, she was my business partner, back when we ran the Knights of the Shield. A difficult task for a mind flayer. Duke Stelmane trusted me, and the city trusted her. I conceived the plot, but Belin took center stage. It was she who met with the merchants, politicians, and patriarchs. It was she who negotiated deals and signed off on agreements. Her rooms played host to the most important conversations in the city. Together, we brought order to chaos. At its height, everything that happened in that city went through the shield. Through us. I could not have done any of it without her. Just as I cannot do any of this without you. But now, she is gone. Astute as ever. You think that mind flayers are soulless husks who feel nothing. Belin thought the same at first. You are wrong. Feeling is vital to the pursuit of anyone's goals. Even the mind flayers. Like you, mind flayers know fear. Like you, we crave recognition. But unlike you, unlike the others of my kind, I am no slave to either. end is and always has been freedom. Berlin understood this. Berlin became my freedom. I am glad you were able to learn something. Another quake. The brain is rebelling again. I need to focus.
My love, I hope you enjoyed our voyage through the cosmos. I was hoping you might have a moment to talk about it. Neither have I. The closest thing to a deserving canvas on which to place your beauty. But I've also not forgotten why I took you there. I hope you don't think less of me. Great ambition should not come at the expense of what you already hold dear. I see that now. Divine calculus plucked each of us from the ether and thrust us together. I don't deserve you, truly. But I will do my utmost to earn the right. Was there anything else you wish to discuss?
Speaks well, that envoy, Tash. Excellent rhetorician.
He's a man of the people, too.
Afternoon. I was joking. You really are a city. What else is there to know?
Don't be smart with me. Look, Mama, look! It's so pretty!
Maya! This is on its way to cut our throats.
Exactly.
City of Satan.
Say anything about
I can see the dream. The security shouldn't be too tight. A few charmed innocents, maybe.
You are intruding in the palace of Cazador Zar. Leave now, citizen.
The guard's words are clear, but spoken without thought or intent. Behind her eyes, you see nothing. She must be one of the charmed thralls Astarion mentioned.
Of course. Whatever the Master desires. Enter freely, and of your own will.
That's suspiciously welcoming.
I always wondered what a vampire's lair would look like. Can't say I pictured it being quite this theatrical.
I find it surprisingly similar to Queen Vlakkith's aesthetic.
That makes sense. She does have a flair for the dramatic.
Will gave up freedom to save his father. I will never understand people like that. So this is it. I'm home. There's the same fading carpet. The same tasteless art. Nothing's changed. But gods, everything feels different. It does feel strange. Breaking into your own home, especially if murder's on your mind. Then again, this is hardly the strangest thing we've done together. Although it could be the most satisfying. Well, the second most satisfying. Oh no, it's much worse than that. They're fanatics. Here of their own free will and utterly devoted to Cazador. Each one came to our door and begged to be given his eternal gift. They're sure he'll turn them if they serve him well enough. He'd almost feel sorry for the poor deluded souls. But they're idiots who brought this upon themselves, so don't. If my dear siblings were right, Cazador's hiding somewhere below the palace. After so many years, I would have spotted any secret tunnels out here. The only place that was off limits to us was his study. If the entrance is anywhere, it'll be there, through the ballroom. Oh, I've never been less sure of anything. But if I don't face him now, I never will. I'll spend the rest of my life running, watching the shadows, never feeling safe. No. This has to happen. Here and now. Also, there's a small matter of all that power I can steal from the bastard. So that'll be nice.
Bless us, Master.
Wish I had a bag of holding.
Whatever killed this werewolf burned it up from the inside. Its throat and innards are more liquid than solid.
curious.
Of necrotic magic. They're closed for now.
There's necrotic magic at work here. Let's get that patched up.
The bedrooms never once slept in. This is where I took our guests. I'd entertained them here until Cazador appeared and took them away.
No one ever died.
The corpse does not respond.
Crooked touch.
Can't give up now. Dictionary of an ancient language. Hardly surprising for a vampire's lair.
Cazador's cheapest tricks. An illusionary wall. Behind it is the kennel. A fetid little cell he throws into when displeased.
Prime spot for an ambush.
I know you're there, Godey. Stop skulking and show yourself.
You always
always were sharp, little one. Sharp enough to cut yourself.
It's taking everything I have not to grind your rotten carcass to dust.
Don't be mad at Godey, child. I only did my job. Only kept you in line.
You tortured us. For days at a time.
Oh, yes. And you sang so sweetly for me. None of the others screamed like you did. But you're home now, and you brought me a treat, eh? A new friend for Godey. But you're too late to see the Master. The doors are sealed. He will not be disturbed.
Doors can be unsealed. Do you have the key?
Perhaps. But the Master ordered the doors closed until he was finished. Godey will not open them for anyone, much less for you. Wait! Godey has the key. Godey can give it to you. Here. Here it is. Take it, and trouble Godey no more. Let the Master know I found Astarion.
This is where the spawn were kept. When we were getting neither the carrot nor the stick.
Stop! No more squealing. No more rat lies.
Everything must be perfect. Master not here. So much to be had.
Something good here, I hope.
Stupid wolves. You will sit. You will obey. Sit. Do not stand. Sit. Master not here. You obey me.
So much to do. So much to prepare.
Queen Vlakkith. Skra!
You are Hasharlak, and still you speak my name.
I've seen the captive Orpheus with my own eyes. Spoken to Gestil Kithrak Voss. You lied to us. Enslaved us.
The betrayer Voss lies! I have only a moment, and you, Hasharlak, will listen. We are Githyanki. We move mountains. We snuff out stars. We shake the plains. The traitor Voss has lied to you. The heretic prince would shatter us in an instant. The great dominion shrunk to the head of a pin.
Can this be true? Is the Githyanki prince really a threat to his own people? Or simply a challenge to Vlakkith's rule?
Return to the Astral Prism. Slay Orpheus the Pretender. Serve me, and I will ascend you. You will be no mere warrior, nor Kithrak. You will be Barta Vlakkith, commander of dragons. My only, my chosen. A final chance. Kneel before me. Make your promise.
Lae'zel's thoughts become yours. The sight of Orpheus looms over her mind. Voss's words echo within it. She means to forever turn her back on Vlakkith.
I gave you my faith, and you called me traitor. I gave you my life, and you ordered your knights to hunt me. I have witnessed too much, and you have given me too little. Finally, I can see. Orpheus will live, and I will hear his creed. This is my word.
Your word is nothing! You are nothing! The Kithraki will bring you. I will tear your flesh from your bones and devour your skull's marrow, while you beg for death. I will consume you. I will unmake you.
It is done. There is no going back. As long as the Undying Queen reigns, I am never to soar unbound over the Astral Sea. Never to cross the one in the void. As it should be. Better a short life built on truth than immortality woven of lies. Better to unite the Githyanki under a prince who would free their minds and honor their bodies. So why do I feel so bitter?
Loss. It permeates every corner of Lae'zel's mind. Everything she knew to be true, every plan and aspiration she ever held has been painfully ripped away. Lae'zel's bitterness is born of sadness. She's mourning the loss of the person she once was, and can never be again.
How well you've come to know me.
But in truth, she didn't take everything. I have what I have gathered for myself. I'm moored to a new regent, a new land, and new allies. Vlakkith cannot unmake she who no longer exists. And so, from the old battle cries is birthed another. Shma Salar Orpheus, Ma Stilna Forgin in Yeri. Orpheus's will above all. May the comet blaze my path forward. Orpheus's freedom is my want and my need. To deny his freedom would be to deny my own. There will come a time when I can think about myself beyond the Lich Queen who enslaves the Githyanki and the prince who would liberate them. But that time won't come until the Prince of the Comet flies again. Vlakkith's left hand and her right. Commander of all dragons, chosen of the Queen Regent. Not since Vlakkith I has a Bart to Vlakkith been anointed. Another empty promise. Only a naive fool would believe otherwise. The kind of fool I was not so long ago. We take the Orphic hammer from Raphael's lair. Orpheus Tavki Nazin.
The door is covered in intricate text, but you can't see anywhere a key might fit. Only a small round hollow engraved with a family crest. Looking closer, you recognize the writing. It's the same Kozakuran script from the dictionary you found. The ring slots perfectly into place, and the door swings open.
You can't be here. No one in, no one out.
You're new. Cazador never kept guard dogs before.
The runaway spawn. You reek of the Master's scent. Come with us. Come to Master.
Excuse me? I will not be ordered around my own house by some blow-in mutt.
We bring you to him. We get his favor.
This will do nicely.
Victory awaits.
Why the stunned face? You look like you've seen a devil. The pup dug his own hole, darling. I merely supplied the claws. I've always been the giving type, after all. To wit, go to Gortash's secret prison, and I'll help you spring Will's daddy free. Of course, you could always leave him to rot, but that would make Will's sacrifice worthless, and I know you wouldn't want that. Focus on the elder brain. I'd hate to clog that infected head of yours with needless details. Will's a gifted hunter, and Zariel's made her share of enemies in and out of the Hells. Devils, demons, deserters. They're a great burden on the Lord of the First. Clause G, Section 9. Targets shall be limited to the infernal, the demonic, the heartless, and the soulless. The clause still holds. As long as Will doesn't tug on my leash, he'll be stalking only the wickedest prey. It's a win-win. You have the best ideas. Oh, you are an inquisitive one. I'd have thought you'd figured by now. Zariel found new use for an old battle axe. The dead three in that bulging brain of theirs are a threat to more than this trifling city, you know. Savor her company. Who's to say when Zariel might change her mind? My mistress can be so capricious. Why? I'm supplying Will with every scrap of his infernal power. I've paid my dues many times over. I tell you what, when the time comes to squish that big baddie of a brain, I'll lend you a hand. Like I said, I'm the giving type.
I never quite realized how burdened I was. Until I met you. The threat of the Shadow Curse. The politics of the Grove. I was forgetting who I was. But you lifted the fog. Thank you. You're too modest. I wager you don't even know how extraordinary you truly are. But I do. I have lived a very long time. I have taken many lovers. My heart does not stir lightly. but it does now. Like I said, I've lived a long time, traveled far and wide. I've lain with elf maidens under the boughs of oaks. I've had a Neeland the pirate claw my back and cry my name until he was hoarse. And I've been to the Underdark. Many times. I want more than to fight at your side, or sit around the campfire with you. I want to lay with you under the stars and feel your skin against mine. I think you feel the same way. Once the power of the Shadow Curse was broken, the connection was undeniable. We both felt it. But tell me I'm wrong, and the matter can rest. I do not wish to sour our friendship, but I have to know if it can be something more. You have bonded with Gale, body and soul. His scent lingers on your skin. If there is to be anything between us, it must be with his consent. And perhaps someday, his participation. I understand. And I still cherish our relationship. Still, I could not have forgiven myself had I not taken the plunge. Better to have tried and failed.
The dog wags his tail, a small bag clenched between his teeth. He gives in and surrenders his find to you. Scratch's tongue lolls out happily, his tail wagging even faster. Stand on a clean metal platform, a beautiful but antiquated elevator. There are some scuffs to show its age, signs of things dragged onto it over the years, but it seems to be in good working order.
What in the hells? I never knew this was here. This was always Cazador's private quarters. Only he ever came in here. Well, him and the unfortunate souls we brought to feed him. What in the hells? I never knew any of this was here.
Just like the door to the ballroom upstairs, this door features no keyhole, but does have an indentation for a signet ring. The ring slots perfectly into place, and the door opens, assailing you with pungent, musty air. approaching the cells, you're met with hollow-eyed faces. There's an almost physical stink of decay and neglect.
Ugh, disgusting. Cazador never fed on wretches like this. How did they get here? What is Cazador doing with them? I should have guessed there was more to it than Raphael would ever have told.
You. I know you. You're the one from the tavern. You smiled and joked and got me drunk.
No. You're dead.
You called me so many sweet things. My name sounded like a lyric on your tongue.
Sebastian.
You remember me.
You were handsome. Shy. You'd never been kissed.
You taught me how. And then you destroyed me.
It can't be.
Beneath the dirt and blood, you notice that every prisoner has a rune carved into their flesh.
Then they're bound to the Black Mass, too. Bound through the scars. Through me. I know these faces. Every one that shares my scar. They're my conquests. I pursued them. Seduced them. Then brought them to Cazador. He told us he was feeding on them, but he turned them to spawn. He turned every last one, so we'd have souls for this cursed ritual.
How long?
What?
How long have I been down here?
170 years. You were one of my first.
My family. My friends. They're gone. You took them from me. You took everything from me. Free. We'll never be free while that monster lives.
That's why we're here. To destroy Cazador.
You can't. It's not possible. The Grand Chamber. Just ahead. But even if you can kill him, what then? What happens to us? I don't know.
Trust me when I say I know the feeling, but you can resist the urge.
Whatever you do, just do it quickly. I can't go on waiting.
We'll be back. You have my word. Gods above. He kept Sebastian. I should have known what Cazador was capable of. He's played us for such fools. And not just 7 spawn to placate the devil. 7 spawn, and 7,000 souls bound to them in blood. Everyone, whoever trusted me enough to let down their guard, innocents, idiots, and the unlucky. It doesn't matter. I will need to sacrifice them all if I want to perform the ritual. What's the point? They're as good as dead. I thought they were dead. If they are unleashed, they will cause incredible carnage. They will be ravenous. They must die. Better they serve a purpose. They're in a state far beyond anything that ever happened to me. Them. I can't even begin to imagine. We must find Cazador. This must end.
Lovely day, this. For now.
What to do?
Salutations. Strike with precision.
You've made a grave mistake. Can't slow down.
I don't fancy their chances.
Torment.
Time for some bloody work.
Unleash me.
Swift and lethal. Time to push my luck again.
What fools these mortals be.
Fire, Chucky.
No healing soup for you. Wake up!
Get your hands off me, worm!
I'm not the one in the dirt. One last thrust. And I'll be free of you. I'll never have to fear you again. But if I finish the ritual you started, I'll never have to fear anyone. Ever.
You think me a fool? That I would allow anyone to usurp me, speak the words, and ascend in my place? The runes I carved into your flesh bind you and all 7,000 souls to the ritual. Complete it, and those bearing the scars will be sacrificed, you included. You are simply a means to an end. I made you to be consumed.
I am so much more than what you made me. I can do this, but I need your help. These people died years ago. Trust me on that. All that's left are feral spawn, desperate for blood. If we release them, how many people will they kill? Tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands? But if I complete the ritual, think of the power I'll have. With me by your side, we can save the city. We can save ourselves.
See the fear in his eyes, but also the hunger. The thick smell of blood in the air and the promise of power being so close is intoxicating to him. All he can see is the power of the ritual and the freedom that power brings. The freedom to do anything, to be anything.
You're right. I can be better than them. But I'm not above enjoying this.
Is it over? Is he...
Yes. He's gone.
What does that mean for us? What business is it of yours?
It will become everyone's business if you try to feast on half the city. This is just a friendly warning. Your choices are simple, really. You can hide here, living in the shadows like parasites. Or you could be more than what he made us to be. You can choose differently, of course. But the consequences are on your head.
And what does it mean for them?
Now that is a question.
Cazador's staff controlled everything during the ritual. If it controls the cells too, you could decide their fate.
A herd of vampire spawn unleashed on the Sword Coast. What could go wrong?
The poor wretches in the cells are innocent. They shouldn't have to suffer just because lured them here. They'll need someone to lead them. Take the tunnels into the Underdark. Find somewhere, well, not safe, but less perilous.
What? No, we can't.
Just try to keep them out of trouble. I think we're done here. Let's go.
Friend, we are here for you.
That's it. He's gone. After all these years, these centuries. It's really over. I'm glad you think so, because I'm not so sure. I just feel numb. What I've lost. What I've gained. It's all so much. And God, all those spawn. Free in the Underdark. I need some time, I think. Just to let it all sink in. Let's just go. This place reeks of death, and I want to feel alive again.
Hold there, Spawn.
You're the Gur tribe. I thought I was done with you people.
We're not done. Not even close. My name's Alma. My people are monster hunters. Those of us that remain, that is. Your companion attacked us in the night and stole our children. Then his master decimated what was left of the tribe.
I had no choice, as you monster hunters well know.
True. So imagine my surprise when I heard you'd fled. Heard you were a rogue spawn, free from Cazador's control. We searched half the Sword Coast for you, hoping you could help us destroy him, only to track you right back here. And what do we find when we arrive? You killed one vampire, but released 7,000 of his spawn. Have you lost all sense?
They were innocents. To kill them would have been an even greater crime.
And our children, what of their fate?
Cazador turned everyone we brought him into spawn. I can only assume your children were somewhere in those wretched cells. You'll find them in the Underdark. Although, you may not like what you find.
This is difficult news. We will need to decide what it means. Thank you for what you have done. Slaying Cazador was a great justice. As for the rest, well, time will tell.
That's strange. Knowing I'll never hear Cazador's voice again. Knowing it'll never command me to bow against my will. I'm free from him. Forever. Invigorating. Terrifying. All of the above. I'm still trying to understand it, really. I came so close to losing everything back there. To losing myself. Back at the ritual, all I could see was the power on offer and the safety it promised. I was so blinded by it. Just as Cazador was. But you saw something in me. Someone else I could be. Someone who could break the cycle of power and terror that started centuries ago. You saved me back there. I may not have appreciated it at the time, but I do now. Thank you. You did more than that. You believed in me. Believed I was enough. Just the way I am. When I look at my future, anything and everything feels possible now. You saved me from myself. And let me walk a new path where I can be free. Truly, honestly free. This is a gift, you know. Thank you. I won't forget it.
I've had my eye on you. Hot as brimstone, jagged as lightning, and seething like the river Styx. But there's something missing, isn't there? You're hungry for pleasures beyond this plane. Something more satisfying than mortal flesh, blood, and bone. Oh, but do hear me out. You want what I have to offer. The ecstasy of agony. The pain of the damned, distilled into pure bliss. Beyond every climax you've known. The little death writ large. Smile, and I'll come to you when you put your head down to rest. I will sate your most forbidden lusts. Or don't, and know the eternal ache of the unknown and the unanswered. Dear me, I've overestimated you. Trust me, I shan't be making that mistake again. Ta-ta.